Here's a recent article that came out in the research on long COVID and also chronic fatigue, or ME/CFS. They refer to it. They're calling it post-COVID syndrome instead of long COVID. But they said that a fraction of the long COVID patients developed clinical pictures that are very similar to chronic fatigue or ME/CFS, which is nothing new. Both originate in the immune response. There's some different cases of why the immune response is going. With a long COVID, they know that it's due to the viral aspect of it, and ME/CFS, it has long thought that it could be viral, but it could be a whole host of things, from bad bacteria, mycobacterium, parasites, fungal infection, a number of things. But they have the similarity in the fact that they're both involved with immunity. The immune system plays the key role in that. And by the way, people underestimate the immune response. The immune response is the strongest force in the body, and it dictates downstream of how everything is going to react, from endocrinological. So we get cortisol and a whole host of other endocrine changes. You also have its downstream effects from inhibiting metabolic processes. That's why you'll see plenty of papers on metabolic changes and so forth. But this article is just observing what is going on inside the vascular system. And so they mention microvessels and blood from patients have appeared and include microclots and malformed pathological blood cells. So these microclots seem to be coming up quite a bit. And the microclots form as a result of immune system activation. So it's an inflammatory process. Most of the problems that you see with long COVID or chronic fatiguers, or you're seeing different aspects of inflammation. So the inflammation can affect the neurological, it affects the blood flow, it can affect liver function, you name it. There's almost like 900,000 articles in PubMed just using the word inflammation. So inflammation is really the big issue, and the question is why the inflammation is going on, and most of it's activity from the immune response. So they're saying the microclots are formed, and then this is affecting the blood cells, which only makes sense. Capillary blood flow is impaired not only by pathological blood components, but also by prothrombotic, which would be clotting changes in the vascular wall. The endothelial is part of the vascular system. It's a component of it. They're saying it's dysfunction and expression of adhesion molecules in the capillaries. So I'm guessing that's what they're showing this picture when I search for images from microclots. That's what shows up, not that that's really particularly important. So they're saying that a predominance of vasoconstrictor exists, and then this is causing all kinds of problems downstream, because that's what it's doing, is creating more inflammation. So you cannot get the blood flow through there, which means you can't get the oxygen through there, which means you can't get the nutrients to build new cells through there, and all the immune factors and who knows what else is going through there to bring healing. So that's all being clogged up, just like a clog in your kitchen sink. So the water's not flowing right, so you can't wash your dishes efficiently. It's the same thing. So then what it's doing is it's causing more inflammation. I'll try to see where they can see that. Capillary ischemia, reperfusion. So that's ischemia is not a good thing. So this is causing more problems. It's causing downstream problems with more inflammation to the other tissues, or mentioning muscles. They concluded by saying the latter in turn worsens the vascular situation by the generation of reactive oxygen species to close the vicious cycle from which the patient can hardly escape. And I do want to bring up that word reactive oxygen species. A lot of times they'll abbreviate that to ROS. So ROS is reactive oxygen species, meaning that these are byproducts of inflammation. And so they're free radicals is another word. Free radicals, ROS, inflammation are all really the same word or the same meaning, different words, same meaning. And ROS, it gets out of control. It starts damaging tissues. It's a toxic byproduct of the immune response. However, that can be controlled through the use of antioxidants. So I'll leave that there. I didn't do too bad this time. I usually do horrible in these presentations.